If we rewind all the way back, this Sunday marks 50 years since the Roe versus Wade decision was made by the Supreme Court, allowing women to legally access abortions across the country. But as we now know, that decision was overturned nearly 7 months ago, launching several legal challenges over total abortion bans, abortion pills, and crossing state lines to access the procedure. Thousands are expected to rally in Washington today as part of the March for Life protest. Organizers are now setting their sights on Congress as the reproductive battle continues on the state level. NBC News correspondent Marissa Parra joins us now from the National Mall in Washington, D.C. with the latest on this. Hey, Marissa, good morning. So what can we expect to see from today's march? What are organizers focusing on this year, and what do you anticipate in terms of turnout?
Good morning. So we spoke to the president for March for Life, and she echoed how a lot of people feel that are participating today, which is that Dobbs was a critical milestone, but it is not the end of their fight. With the overturn of Roe, they said abortions are still happening, and so is their march, because their whole objective is to end abortion. So you can see they're set up to do just that. Behind me, you can see a lot of the setup for the march that will be happening today later on in this afternoon. And behind me, you can see the Capitol, because what they're doing today is they're changing their route as a symbolic gesture. You said how they're setting their sights on Congress. Well, they are walking past the Capitol. They'll be stopping in front of it before they make their way to the Supreme Court. And for the very first time, they're not going to be stopping at the Supreme Court. They're going to be stopping in between the Capitol and the Supreme Court, again, as a nod to what lies ahead in their fight against abortions. And so when we talk about the changes this year, because Roe has been overturned, but as we mentioned, they said that there's still more of a fight. They're taking this to a state level. They said that since 2019, they've been trying to expand marches on a local level. This started with Virginia in 2019, and now they've moved to nearly a dozen states. We know that they've expanded more states this year, but then the last thing is they're trying to change the culture now. They're really shifting to a cultural change, quote, trying to make abortions unthinkable. Savannah, Lindsay.
And Marissa, let's talk about the other side of this, because this weekend supporters of abortion access have their own events planned for this weekend. It includes a bigger than Roe event. It's called, what do we know about those events?
Yeah, so you mentioned it yourself, bigger than Roe. That's something that we know the Women's March is putting on local marches across the country, because the whole idea behind that is that they say that Roe was never meant to be the end. They said that Roe was the bottom line. I want to take you to an interview that we did with the CEO for Physicians for Reproductive Health on what she says there were concerns as Roe was in place and concerns that remain now that Roe is overturned. Take a listen.
There's a lot of confusion about what is safe, what is not safe, what we're able to do. When I say safety, I mean legally safe now that abortion is banned. We know that abortion in and of itself is very safe, is very effective. But now the question becomes legal safety, both for people seeking abortion care and for providers like me who are supporting people who do so.
So bottom line, supporters for abortion rights are fighting for legal and safe options for people who need to get an abortion. And ultimately, the change here is that now that Roe is overturned, really what they're trying to fight for is they're saying, again, Roe was not the end. Roe was the bottom line, the bare minimum of what they're asking for. Savannah, Lindsay.
All right, Marissa Parra, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.